Alrighty guys, so first off, I just want to show you the new neck that I got. These are the tuners that I'm putting on it. These Planet Waves, self-clipping tuners. As you tune them up, they trim the string themselves. Pretty cool. They're not staggered like my other tuners on my other neck, but I figured since the mounting on those other tuners are made for kind of the Mexican style that have the two prongs in them, I figured I'd just leave it on that one and make another guitar out of that neck, with that neck with a different body or something. And but this one's gonna look pretty fucking sweet when it's done. I need to get it coated with some nitrocellulose, but so far I've softened all the edges and stuff because aftermarket necks, I have a problem when I see people, online when they put the necks on and put everything on with the headstock completely bare and all the edges and corners and stuff are completely square. It makes the shit look chintzy. I don't know. It makes it look cheap to me. Looks like a Squire, like where they don't really pay attention to the finer details and round off the edges and stuff. So I rounded all the edges and then I tinted the neck and the headstock and stuff to make it a little more vintage style. But what I wanted to talk about is I hear, a lot of moronic fucking men that don't understand what MGTOW is. And once again, it just pisses me off because they always say the stupid shit of, well, it's basically just women hating, which is fucking retarded. That immediately puts you out as a fucking moron to me when someone says that about MGTOW. It's like you have no idea what it is. Literally all that MGTOW is that you are sick of dealing with the bullshit that men have to face with relationships with women constantly, especially when you've been through it over and over and over and over again. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And, I've done it enough times to know, well, the result really isn't going to be much different. At the age range that I'm in right now, it's pretty much futile to try to get with any females, especially the way that things are nowadays with the laws. It's totally one-sided. So for a man to think that it would be dumb to walk away from that and get out of that situation till at least men get fair rights, equal rights with under the law, because that's really what equality should be, is under the law, nothing else. Equality in real life is bullshit. It doesn't mean shit. None of us are equal. Okay, it's all based off your own merit and what people do and how you act, how you treat other people, things like that. And some people are just factually better than others. Some people are faster, stronger, smarter. Everyone is completely different, and trying to put everyone into this little bubble of we're all equal and we're all the same. No, we're not. Black people can jump higher and run faster because they have muscles that make them do that. It's a fact. Men can lift more than women because they're stronger, they have a bigger frame, they're able to carry more weight. It's just a fact. These things that people don't like to talk about nowadays because it makes them uncomfortable. And MGTOW is one of those things where it's like, okay, men have dealt with the bullshit of, having to pretty much give their entire life to women while they're younger. And, when you're a man that's looking for a career of your own, you want to do your own thing, women tend to hold you back, especially when you want to do things like be a musician and be in the music industry and things like that, where you have to go and do things quite often. A woman holding you down is really not something I really want to be a part of, especially when I have to worry about all the fucking laws and the upper hand that they have within those laws. I'd rather not deal with it. I've gotten the shit end of that stick before, and until something changes with that, I'm never putting myself in that position again. It would be absolutely fucking retarded to put myself in that position again. And any man who has any problem with that is a fucking pussy beta male and doesn't understand shit. And they need to just shut up about it. Guys, if you don't understand what MGTOW is, shut the fuck up about it. You don't know what it is. You're acting like a dumbass feminist by going, ooh, MGTOW's just about hating women. That's the stupidest, most vapid fucking thing you can say. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. There's no sort of hatred of women in it. It's absolutely actually understanding the nature of women and males and the nature of them being together, the way we interact, and knowing the laws that are clearly on women's side that need to change, because one slip up, you get a girl pregnant, and then you have no fucking say in anything because, well, it's my body. Even though it takes your seed to get them pregnant, it's all about their choice. The guy gets no fucking choice in anything. And then they can lord that kid over you and try to take all your fucking money for the rest of your life. Or until that kid turns 18. Whatever, the rest of your life. Because that kind of shit, you know, wears on men and ends up driving them to fucking suicide. That's why so many men commit suicide. This is what people don't get. It's like, why do you think men's suicide rates are twice as high? Probably has something to do with the fact that most men, when they have a child with someone and their relationship doesn't work out, that woman that gets all the rights and everything gets thrown over to her, unless she's some kind of fucking drug addict or something. It pretty much always goes straight to her, and then the guy just has to pay for that kid, but that money never actually goes to the kid. It just goes to the woman or whatever the fuck she wants to do. And if you don't pay for it, you go to jail and you get fucked for the rest of your life. What the hell? Why would someone want to put themselves through that? You have to be stupid. And women always come to me, oh, well, you got to give it a chance. You can't just give up. It's not about giving up. It has nothing to do with giving up. If the laws changed, if things were actually equal under the law, I would have no problem. I would be willing to try more because the cost-benefit analysis would be that, well, I think I can deal with this. If things go sour, I don't have to worry about this woman, you know, lying in court and taking everything from me and fucking me over and putting me in debt for the next 7 years of my life. You know, before I even get to, you know, get my life going, a female can come in and just wipe it completely away. That's what happened to me. Why the fuck would I want to put myself in that position again? And as it stands right now, unless you haven't been through enough with women, I understand some men because they're, you know, some of them, they're too old to understand. It's like you're out of your fucking league, dude. You have no idea what it's like nowadays. Shit isn't the same as when it was in your day. So those old men, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about because everything is different. Just take a look at the way women are nowadays, the way female nature is nowadays. It's insane. With feminism running the fuck amok, women are basically brainwashed into this kind of, you know, they know they hold that power over men and they use it to their advantage all the time. So that's why most people become MGTOW. It has nothing to do with hating women. It has to do with not being a fucking moron and putting yourself in shit situations because that would be the unintelligent thing to do. They're like, oh, so you're never going to have kids and you might as well get a vasectomy. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. You have no idea what you're talking about. That also has nothing to do with having kids. I want kids one day, but what I don't want is some chick lording that over my fucking head my entire life. I'd rather have it on my own terms and have my own son or daughter or whoever, that I don't have to worry about some woman taking them from me because they have more rights than I do with my own fucking seed. So that's pretty much how I stand on that. I'm sick of the whole, oh, it's our bodies, it's our kid. No, fuck you. You are an incubator for what I give you. That is my kid. You are creating my kid. So men should have some kind of fucking say in the matter, especially if they don't want to have the kid at the time. All you're doing is having the kid, and basically, well, your father doesn't want to deal with this, but I'm just gonna make you believe that he's a deadbeat dad, even though he didn't want to have this happen in the first place, and I went against his will. Somehow he's a deadbeat dad, and then I'm gonna ask for fucking child support for the rest of his life. No, fuck that. So people need to get it straight and need to figure out what the fuck it is. It has absolutely nothing to do with anything else other than being intelligent about the situation until shit straightens itself out, until something happens to make things more equal within parenting and relationships and things like that. Because as it stands right now, women can just basically walk right into a fucking courtroom and lie about everything and get off on it. Because that's exactly what my ex did. Basically just lied about fucking everything and won, even though I had all the evidence against her. I've said this before. So for me not to be a MGTOW would be absolutely fucking insane on my part. Especially after her, me getting in, finding girl after girl after girl, and each one being worse than the other. Just more ridiculous, more drama, more bullshit than the next. It's like, okay, how many times do you have to do that until you finally can say, you know what, I'm gonna step away from this until maybe shit starts to work itself out, and women, get their shit together and realize that it takes cooperation with each other, and it's not a one-sided deal where, the guys just have to give up everything and do whatever the fuck the woman wants. So that guys need more of an input on things like that. And until that happens, I'm not going to put myself in that situation. So I'm just sick of seeing that same stupid crap all the time. I hear that all the time with stupid guys that have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. Basically just spewing feminist talking points. Oh, they're just woman haters. MRAs and MGTOWs are just woman haters. Well, because we give a shit about what men have to deal with, somehow that makes us women haters. Because we speak the truth about female nature and the way females actually are. Oh, not all females. Female nature as a whole, there's a generalization. You can actually generalize, This is a thing you can do because you can't really actually talk about each individual woman on the fucking planet, but you can generalize over life experience and what you've seen throughout your entire life, and that's all really anyone can go off of. Everything else is just hearsay, and everything I've seen would drive me completely the fucking opposite direction. So I have no reason to sit there and be like, oh, you guys are right. I should go out and try again. I'll just run out and put myself out there and fucking waste all my time doing this kind of shit when I can actually put my time towards something and start building something for myself, get myself somewhere, figure out my own fucking life and what I want to do, get on the right track, figure everything out, get going, and then maybe when time goes by, shit has changed, something different has happened, or I come across someone that fucking changes my mind. It's not as if I'm completely shut off to the fucking option of getting with a woman. If I met one that held up to the standards that I have and, was reasonable in any fucking sort of light, I guess, all right, fine. I would give it a chance, but I'm not fucking seeing that. That's not walking up to me. Every single time I interact with the woman, especially about this kind of topic, they just show me why I don't want to get with women. They're fucking insane. They cannot handle the fact of other people telling them what their nature is like and what it's like from an opposite perspective. That women cannot hear that kind of shit about themselves, and it fucking drives them insane. So what the fuck do you want me to do? I'm MGTOW by default. That's why I even, that's why I even came out and said that I was MGTOW in the first place. Because it's like, for a long time I didn't identify as one, and it was like, well, I guess I kind of am one by definition. If I've kind of walked away from the whole dating scene and, throwing my life away on trying to please a woman when it just makes no fucking sense, especially at the age I'm at. And I'd rather get my shit together and do something with my own life first, and I don't want to be held back by someone else wanting me to do what they want me to do and things like that. I've done it before. I've been down that road. It's not something special to me. I've been with enough women that I'm like, okay, I don't need the bragging rights to be able to go, well, I get laid and shit, bro, so I'm so much cooler. I've had my fair share. It's fine. I'm fine with guys going, oh, you're such a pussy. Oh, you're not going out and getting laid and this and that. Okay, cool. I remember my first beer too, but that's not what I'm interested in right now. I actually want to get my life going and do something with myself instead of just waste more time playing the fucking game. So that's what it's all about, people. Figure it out or just shut the fuck up about it. That's all I have to say. I mean, I run into people talking about this all the time, and they always say just dumb ass shit. If anyone had any clue what they were talking about, it's like I wouldn't even have to say anything. Be like, or just do some research on what it actually is. Just taking the feminist approach of going, well, they're just woman haters. You're a fucking asshole, and you're the definition of a beta male. That is the definition of a beta male. If you don't understand why a man would want to walk away from the way things are nowadays in the whole fucking dating game and marriage game and shit like that, you are a beta male. You need to check your shit and figure things out for yourself and not sit there and badger other people because they've been through enough shit and want to take a different direction and do something for themselves for once. That's all it is.